Welcome to Hays Post News. I'm Becky Kaiser. Schools in the Larned District will be closed Tuesday in order to allow students and families to attend the funerals of the Mole and Harder families. They were killed last week in a plane crash in Tennessee. Glenn Mole and his wife Elaine, their daughter Amy Harder, and Amy's daughter Samantha, who was a student at Larned High School, all perished in that February 3rd crash. Glenn Mole was the owner of Mole Farms and Feeding in Pawnee Rock. The family was headed to Nashville for the National Cattlemen's Beef Association trade show when that crash occurred. Tuesday's TMP Marion High School basketball games have been rescheduled to February 20th. The newest art exhibit at the Hays Arts Council quietly champions those who've been victims of gender-based violence. Saturday night's open reception was in conjunction with Jana's campaign and the advocacy organization Victims to Survivors. Hem Matsi from Namibia, Africa, is co-founder of Victims to Survivors. She told attendees that 1 in 3 people globally will experience some form of gender-based violence in their lifetime.
I want people to just be able to start a conversation. If people can just start a conversation, if we can start talking about gender-based violence, if we can start being free to report it, if we can start being free to advise each other and love each other and support each other, I think that will just be the start of ending gender-based violence. So really just starting the conversation.
The artwork shown in Hays comes from a United Nations event in Geneva, Switzerland. This is the only time the exhibit will be in the United States. A Fort Hays State University Leadership 310 team also helped with planning of the exhibit, which will be on display through March 8th. Reporter Nick Budd talked with Hem Matsi Saturday night. Nick will have that story tomorrow on Hays Post News. A Hays woman was involved in an accident after losing control of her vehicle, a 2006 Toyota Corolla, late Sunday night. The Kansas Highway Patrol reports Rulie Lang, who is age 41 of Hays, was eastbound on I-70 at 11:21 when she lost control, struck a semi-truck, and came to rest in the ditch. The semi failed to stop and was unidentified. Lang, who was wearing a seatbelt, sustained possible injuries, but transport to a hospital was not indicated in the report. And a Rexford man was injured after his pickup rolled down an embankment. This was 6 miles northeast of Moreland in Thomas County. That accident occurring just after 5 p.m. Friday. The Highway Patrol says 64-year-old Ronnie Joe Recheck had stopped to look at deer. He backed up to get a better look and then backed off a ditch embankment. His 2006 Dodge pickup rolled once and came to rest on its wheels. A Hays woman loses $2,000 in a phone scam, and the police are warning residents to be wary. According to Hays Police Lieutenant Ron Runkles, the victim fell for what he calls a typical scam. She was asked to deposit a check and send some of the money to someone who needed help, then keep part of the money for herself. The woman did as directed and was contacted by her bank when the check bounced. Runkles says there's another scam in the area. A Hays resident and several other people have reported the Publishers Clearinghouse scam. Someone calls and tells the intended victims they've won cash in a car, but first must send money to register the car. Fortunately, most people don't fall for the scams, but when they do, Runkle says it's nearly impossible for police to follow up because the scams usually originate overseas, far from the jurisdiction of Hays Police. Winter storms and freezing temperatures across much of the nation have forced cancellation of more than 500 blood drives, according to the American Red Cross. To help that situation locally, an on-location mini drive will be held Tuesday at the Thomas More Prep Marion High School field house. It's from 9 a.m. to 2:45 p.m. A similar drive was held Friday at the Ellis County Courthouse. The Hays Blood Center is open for donations Tuesdays through Fridays. Stay tuned. More news is coming up right after this break.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jeffrey Lowe at Lifetime Dental Care in Hays. Why pay more for slow braces when you can save money with fast braces? Fast braces can straighten all of your teeth in as little as 3 months to a year and are safe for children and adults. You can only find fast braces in western Kansas at Lifetime Dental Care in Hays. I am so confident with this revolutionary braces technology that I even put them on my son Hayden.
It's amazing how fast my teeth have adjusted, and it's a lot more comfortable than I thought it was going to be.
So call now to schedule a free consultation and see if fast braces is right for you.
Well, I'm missing out on full conversations. My children had mentioned to me, Dad, you're missing so much. I needed to come in and get it taken care of, and I'm glad I did. You just put them in every morning and change the batteries when they need to be changed, and you just become accustomed to having them in.
If you're suffering from hearing loss, stop by Hearing Solutions today and be another satisfied customer tomorrow. Make every occasion a special occasion with a unique gift sent by you with a special message. Flowers by Francis will make your occasion a very special occasion. 2424 Vine in Hayes or flowersbyfrancis.net.
This is a news update from the Salina Post. Education policy experts differ over the causes of achievement gaps among Kansas public school students and whether the state is putting the right focus on how to boost those scores. The discussion occurred last week during a joint meeting of the House and Senate Education Committees to review state scores on a national reading assessment and state funding for schools. State Education Commissioner Diane DeBacker and Dave Talbert, Executive Director of the Kansas Policy Institute, did agree that achievement gaps were widening between poor and wealthy students. The two disagree on whether state funding earmarked for helping students at risk of failure was working or appropriate. Legislators were reviewing scores on the National Assessment of Education Progress, which measures students in math and reading. A Kansas nonprofit agency says it has spent 10 months and $5,000 trying to get the state attorney general's office to provide information related to a settlement with tobacco companies that funnels millions of dollars into early childhood programs. The president and CEO for Kansas Action for Children contends the information is of public interest and vital to help the Kansas legislature and the Kansas Children's Cabinet plan for future spending. Attorney General Derek Schmidt says most parts of the accounting documents outlining how much the state is estimated to receive each year is made confidential by a court order. Schmidt says claims that his office has withheld information are not true. He says he has provided more information on the issue than previous administrations. Kansans have been recycling more and more of their waste. The Kansas Department of Health and Environment says the state's recycling rate has risen from about 18% in 2005 to 34% in 2013. The agency says the numbers reflect the percent of waste that ends up in recycling facilities instead of landfills. Bill Biter, director of KDHE's Bureau of Waste Management, says the recycling rate has improved each year over the last decade. The agency also said in a release that per capita daily disposal rate has dropped by about a fourth since 2005 to about 4 pounds per day. Kansas has 52 municipal solid waste landfills with enough estimated total capacity for 40 years. Acting Kansas Agriculture Secretary Jackie McClaskey says the Attorney General's office vetted her department's plan to move more than 100 employees to Manhattan from the state capital in Topeka. McClaskey faced questions about the move during a recent meeting of the Kansas House Agriculture and Natural Resources Committee. The department expects to move more than 100 of its 150 employees in Topeka to Manhattan by this summer, so they're close to the new Kansas State University new National Biodefense Lab. Republican Don Schrader of Heston noted that the state law requires the Department of Agriculture to be headquartered in Topeka. McClaskey said the Attorney General's office told her the department is in compliance as long as it has a Topeka office. This has been a news update from the Salina Post.
Thanks, Randy. And remember, there is always more news and information 24/7 on our website, hayespost.com.
Brighton, Brighton, and more Brighton accessories and handbags. Stay warm with scarves. Check out our large assortment of watches, sweaters in all colors and styles. Come see our new line Simply. Mix and match, and it's a great addition to any wardrobe. All your fashion must-haves only at Mamzelles and Hayes.
Gibson's Health Mart Pharmacy in Waukene, a pharmacy plus a whole lot more. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned pharmacies dedicated to you, the customer. Stop into Gibson's and enjoy a friendly smile and a helping hand. Whether you need photos, home health, beauty aids, cosmetics, count on Gibson's. When it comes to pharmacy, there is no better choice. Gibson's Health Mart pharmacists take the time to get to know you, explain your medications, and answer questions you may have. Gibson's Health Mart in downtown Waukene. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Eagle Internet gives you a fast and reliable connection to the places you go online. Whether it's breaking news, sports, weather, watching the latest video on YouTube, or staying in touch with friends and family on Facebook, Eagle Internet has you covered. Save $13 each month by getting Eagle 6 Meg Internet for only $29.95. Call 877-61-EAGLE today. Eagle Communications, our community connected.
Welcome back to Hays Post News. I'm Becky Kaiser. More snow in the area Sunday night, officially in Hays. 3 more inches falling. That yielded 0.26 of an inch of moisture.
Cloudy and cold overnight, down to 2 for the low with a wind chill at 5 to 10 below zero. We will be clearing during the day on Tuesday with a high in the upper 20s. Partly cloudy and 20 our low Tuesday night. Sunshine expected on Wednesday, our high near 40. From the Eagle Storm Watch Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dan Holliday.
And that is Hays Post News. I'm Becky Kaiser. Thanks for joining us.